90th minute. Haaland's already got one. The ball's in the net again. Brazil's out. And everyone's already typing the same word. Upset. Here's the problem with that word. Norway's beaten Brazil before. Norway's never actually lost to Brazil. Not once. Not ever. So maybe it's time we stop calling this a shock and start asking why nobody noticed the pattern the first time. 28 years. That's how long Norway went without playing in a World Cup at all. Last time they were here, a shirt pull inside the box penalty, and Kettle Rekdal doesn't miss. 2-1. Norway's only World Cup win over Brazil tier opposition. For 28 years, that was the whole story. Now here's the part that should feel like a coincidence, and doesn't. There's a kid in that 1998 squad photo. Never started a game at that tournament. Barely anyone remembers his name from it. His name is Ståle Solbakken. That's Norway's manager, right now, in 2026. He was on the pitch, or at least on the bench, the last time Norway did this. So when people call Sunday a fluke, I just ask them to sit with that for a second. The man picking this Norway team lived through the first time. He's not guessing what beating Brazil looks like. He watched it happen. Because here's the thing about 2025 qualifying. Norway didn't scrape through. They ran the table. 16 goals in 8 qualifiers. Erling Haaland scored in every single one. That ties Robert Lewandowski's record for a European qualifying campaign. There's a game against Moldova, 11-1. Haaland scored 5 of them. Hat-trick before halftime. With stitches in his face from a bus door days earlier. 5 goals. Anyway, and then the one that actually sealed it, Milan, November. Norway go to Italy on the road and win 4-1. Haaland scores twice. First Norway win over Italy in 25 years, and it happens in Italy's own backyard. 28 years over, not by accident, by running the best qualifying campaign in the group, 6 points clear of Italy. Group stage, final game. Norway's already through. Iraq beaten 4-1, Senegal beaten 3-2. The only thing left on the table is who wins the group, Norway or France. And Solbakken hands in a team sheet with 10 changes. Haaland, Odegaard, Nusa, all 3 of his best attacking players, on the bench, before kickoff, in a game that still matters on paper. You can guess how that goes. Dembele scores a hat-trick. 4-1, France. And somewhere in the second half, Norway's own fans, their own fans, start chanting for Haaland to come on. Solbakken doesn't blink. Afterward, I would do it again immediately. Here's why. Finish second in the group, and FIFA's own bracket rules mean you can't face the group winner again for a while. France finishing first routes them toward the harder side of the draw. Norway finishing second routes them somewhere else. Somewhere else turns out to be Ivory Coast, then this. So the 1-4 wasn't the collapse it looked like. It was the price of a decision that had already been made before kickoff. But none of that explains Brazil. So let's actually look at Brazil. Round of 32, Brazil versus Japan, and Brazil are losing at halftime. Casemiro drags them level in the second half. They don't actually win it until the 4th minute of stoppage time. A team with 5 World Cups very nearly went out to Japan. And that same Casemiro, 34 years old, had already been substituted in 3 of Brazil's last 4 matches. Legs going. Every team that's played them since the group stage has seen it. Ancelotti, meanwhile, is fielding questions about his own tactics mid-tournament. His answer? I'm not a fool. Which is a strange thing to have to say out loud if everything's fine. Danilo, 34, is playing right back, a position that hasn't really been his in years. The whole back line has that same slightly improvised feel to it. So walk in with me. Norway didn't face the 5-time champions at their best. They faced a Brazil that had already needed a stoppage time winner just to survive the round before, with a legend at the base of midfield running on fumes, and a manager fielding, "Am I a fool?" questions in his own press conferences. That's not the same as saying Brazil were bad. It's saying they arrived wobbling, with or without Norway in the picture at all. Okay, let's do the honest part. Norway hasn't won a match without Erling Haaland scoring in almost 3 years. That's true. And it's not nothing. Take Haaland off this roster, and you probably get a solid, unremarkable European team. Nobody serious disputes that, including, honestly, me. So here's the actual question. Is this Norway, quarterfinalists for the first time ever, really a team, or is it one brilliant player wearing 11 shirts? 66% possession against Brazil. A one-man team doesn't control 2/3 of the ball against a 5-time champion. Somebody built the platform that let Haaland do what he does. That's Solbaken's job, and on Sunday, he did it. So here's the mechanism. Here's the how. Norway sat in a mid-block, patient. Didn't chase the ball high, didn't gamble, just waited for the exact moment Haaland could spin in behind a Brazilian backline that had to commit forward eventually. 680 passes to 329. 75 entries into the final third to Brazil's 47. That's not a smash and grab. That's control. Now, somebody is going to bring up the expected goals number. Brazil's XG was 2.73. Norway's was 0.84. On paper, that says Brazil should have won this comfortably. Here's what that number doesn't say by itself. Most of Brazil's 2.73 comes from 2 penalties. One Haaland saved, one Neymar converted. Take those out, and from open play, Brazil created far less than that headline number suggests. The stat that looks like it undermines everything I just told you actually proves it once you see what's actually inside it. Now the matchup. Before the game, analysts flagged exactly one thing that mattered: Haaland's speed against Brazil's aging center-back pairing. Gabriel Magalhaes can handle the ball in the air. What he can't handle is a striker who times a run in behind a high line. They called that matchup before a ball was kicked. Then it happened exactly like they said. Danilo, 34, stranded at right back for most of the night. Halftime, 0-0. Solbakken makes a change. Sorloth off, Shelder up on. Nusa off, Bob on. Small detail, Sorloth's the center forward. All night in the first half, he'd been playing out wide, out of position, because that's the only spot left once Haaland takes the middle. The substitution fixes that. Gives Norway an actual 4-3-3 shape they didn't have before. The fix wasn't luck. It was a decision at halftime that changed the second half. 79th minute. Shelder up, left side. Cross in. Haaland times the jump. 1-0. 11 minutes later. Haaland starts it. Shelder up, slips the ball through. Tight angle. Haaland. Left foot. Bottom corner. Stoppage time. Brazil win a penalty. Neymar takes it himself. Scores it. It doesn't change the result. It was never going to. But by most accounts, that's the last time Neymar wears that shirt at a World Cup. So no, this isn't a night to make fun of Brazil. 5 World Cups isn't a fluke either. Whatever else is true, that's still one of the great international teams there's ever been. Walking off early, with one of its greatest players saying goodbye in the same 10 minutes his team went out. There's no joy in that part. There shouldn't be. That night in Oslo, thousands show up outside the Royal Palace. And Martin Odegaard says something that sticks. We have seen pictures from when Norway beat Brazil and heard stories about it. And now we are writing our own history. Here's the part I actually want you to sit with. Brazil's own newspaper, Lance, ran this headline the next morning. Brazil bows to Haaland and says goodbye to the World Cup. Their own press reached straight back for the history. Nobody had to explain the pattern to them. They already knew it. Brazil doesn't lose to Norway by accident. It's happened enough times now that calling it an upset is the myth, not the result.